Once again, outside on the table, we have registration for a free PS5. Go ahead and scan the QR code. We have a drawing for that, and just a little bit along with a few other prizes that are there. We got swag for you. We want to encourage you and mobilize you to vote.
Okay, y'all, I'm so excited because we're voting next week, and there are a lot of things that we are told, and we need to know, is it a fact or is it fiction? Okay? Fact or fiction, you can use your student ID to go vote. Fact or fiction? I hear fact over here. It is fiction. You cannot use your student ID to go vote. So from your standpoint, why is it so important to you to have your students or young students pop out and vote during this election and every election after that?
Absolutely. It's our historical legacy, right? We understand that the power to vote was something that our ancestors held dearly because they understood that their power was in their ability to participate in our election system, and that the rights and privileges that we needed came from our empowerment to vote. And so for young people, because they have so much access these days, they actually forget that it's our historical legacy to vote, that we're standing on the shoulders of our ancestors who fought, died, and cried, and strived in so many different ways in order to vote. And so we have to empower them and let them know that the fight isn't over. There are still things that we need to be active about, and that activity comes through our power to vote.
There's some policies that people are trying to push forward that you might have a say in. For instance, how many of you know that it's been proposed to end the Department of Education? Anybody know that? That's one of the things they're talking about, ending the U.S. Department of Education. You know what goes with the U.S. Department of Education? Financial aid. So if there's no U.S. Department of Education, and if there's no financial aid, you might ask the question of how that will create some challenges for you as you're pursuing your degree. Those are just some of the things that are on the ballot for your consideration. And so you voted for yourself, you voted for your family, you voted for your friends. But also, I think it's important to recognize, and I'm done here, you got to vote for your future. The question is, what kind of country do you want this country to ultimately be? I know you're thinking about your studies right now. I'm actually a student right now working on a second doctorate. I'm working on a PhD. And I know when you're focused on your studies, that's all that consumes your mind. But guess what? You're not just going to be here. One of these days you're going to graduate, may choose to start a family. And the question you're going to ask yourself is, what kind of world, what kind of nation do I want for my family? So vote with our ancestors in mind. Vote with yourselves, your family, and your friends in mind. But also vote for our future. So if you're willing to vote, you're registered to vote, and you are going to vote in this election, one more time, give yourselves a great big hand, if you will. One more time, clap it up. I appreciate you. We love you. Listen, right outside, we have documentation over there that says information about the candidates. It's your decision, your choice. We just have information they shared concerning their own policies, all right?
For you, what's an issue that is important to you this voting season or that you may have heard?
Well, I have sons, 2 boys in particular, and we know that it's difficult for young men to find their purpose and their place in the world that also oppresses them so heavily. And oftentimes when they're taking away privileges like the ability to learn about their heritage and their history, when the education system is on attack for our identity as black people, it's important for me to let them know, like, that is your power. That's how you continue to exist in this world and have identity and agency in this world. And so it's important for me to lift up these opportunities because, again, they are fighting the fight in their generation for their future generations in the same ways that our ancestors did. And so again, let them know that you're standing on the shoulders so that people who look like us can continue to have the legacy and privileges and rights that our ancestors afforded for them.
So Vote Common Good right now is on the campus of Huston Tillotson University right here in Austin, Texas, founded in 1875. This is a really special day for me because my grandparents met here in the 1940s. My grandmother, who's age 96, graduated from this institution in 1948. My grandfather graduated in 1949. And it's just real special to be here, not just because of how this helped shape our family, but really as we've been traveling across the country, across the state of Texas and engaged in HBCUs, it really tells a more powerful story, the story of America. The graduates of this institution have built this country time and time again. they're continuing to push us forward, to make us a better country. And so it's been exciting to be around all of these students, to see their commitment to voting, their commitment to getting out to vote, and the opportunity just to be on these grounds.
Generations prior always believed that the next generation was not as serious about the prior generation. And so informing them and reminding them there was a time too I thought like you. And someone had to coach me and be patient with me in helping to understand the reality of our present condition. And so every generation thinks the previous generation didn't do enough, and the previous generation thinks the next generation isn't doing enough. And so finding that common ground, realizing that you were once in that person's seat, and then humbling yourself in order to say, hey, I'm going to be patient with you because I can understand that that might not be important to you right now, but let me help you walk and understand that it will be soon.
I want to thank you for following us at Vote Common Good, for being a part of this pop-up and pop-out HBCU voter experience. And let's make sure we do everything we can do to get them to the polls.